second principle, which the second principle of Kwanzaa is koo-jee-CHA-goo-LEE-ah, which is self-determination. And we talked about each person taking some responsibility for the unity. Now we're talking about the self-determination. Again, same question, given where we are today, the challenge around self-determination. And looking at that from a cultural standpoint, because not every culture highlights or prioritizes self.
That's true.
So how do we address that in this day and this time?
Go ahead.
The way you ended it is why I chuckled, because you said most people don't prioritize self. I kind of think they OD'd on self in 2023. But I totally understand what you're saying. And in my culture, especially as a woman, there's misogyny that kind of blocks that piece that allows a woman to be who she wants to be and who she is. So you find that a lot of times that in I often say my culture because that's what I can reference. We're not allowed as women to really self-actualize. We're not allowed to grow and, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And even when you do become a butterfly, they still don't want to allow you to have your colors come through. Because now I have to be a butterfly the way you or my mother or my father or my cousin or my village thinks I should be that butterfly. So this piece is one of my top 5 principles for myself, which is one of the things I value the most about this, because when I own who I am, and when I can become who I want to be or who I choose to be, then I allow others to be that way. Then I can see the value and the worth in everybody's journey, in their success and their pain, and their whatever. And now, unity now comes back in.
Yes.
All these principles are tied together. They're like interlinked. You can't have one truly without the other, right? My self-actualization, my ability or opportunity to self-actualize is going to be something valuable for my community. Because once I self-actualize, now I understand my purpose. And remember, our purpose is not about self. So without going inward, we can't come out and then serve the community, in my opinion.
That's beautiful.
Well, with regard to Kujichagulia and the self-determination, again, it is looking inside, and then bring it outward. Determine who I am. And at 58 and a half, I'm still learning who I am, and I am going to define me. I'm not going to allow my employer or whomever else to define me. And as I began to actualize and understand self-determination, even as a healthcare worker, I have a right to make some decisions concerning me, God-given right. As parents in the home, because I'm going back in the home, we need to allow our children, whether they're teenagers or little people, to begin to have some self-determination, because that's where responsibility for the choices you make happen. And it's just, I think it's just a really valuable principle that today we could really embrace, because it's very easy to go on the outside of you and blame others. When you have a choice, I have a choice to determine how I want my life to play out, how I want to interact with you, how I want to teach you how to love me or to treat me.